get a wooden power.
Good evening. The May 13th, 2014 regular meeting of the Mentor Exempted Village Board of Education is called to order. This meeting is being held in accordance with Section 3313.15 of the Ohio Revised Code. Mr. Wilson, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Jesling,
Present.
Ms. Miller,
Here.
Mr. Shaw,
Here.
Mr. Tuttle,
Here.
Mrs. Briner.
Here. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Quite a crowd here this evening. Welcome. I would like to welcome everyone to the May 13th, 2014 regular meeting of the Mentor Exempted Village Board of Education. Prior to this evening, each board member has received for their review and consideration the agenda and materials associated with each agenda item for the board's approval via the district's paperless Board of Education agenda system, Board Docs. The public can access the agenda through the school district's website. The agenda is available through the district's website for public viewing the Sunday prior to the board meeting. Board members have the opportunity to call the superintendent and chief financial officer for information concerning agenda items and to request, if needed, additional information. There are two places on the agenda when the board entertains comments from the community. The first hearing of the public is dedicated to those who wish to address the board on agenda items only. The second hearing of the public is dedicated to those who wish to address the board on any subject, whether it is an item on the agenda or another issue. When addressing the board, please state your name. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. Please address questions to the president. This meeting is being televised on a delayed basis and will be shown on Time Warner Cable Channel 96.96 in Mentor and Channel 96.22 in Mentor on the Lake. The meeting can also be found on your YouTube channel, Cardinal TV Mentor, Ohio. Please place your mobile telephones on silent mode during the meeting. Thank you. Approval of the minutes for April 8th, regular meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Shaw,
Yes.
Ms. Jesling,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle,
Yes.
Mrs. Briner.
Yes. And now we'll have hearing of the public on agenda items only. Seeing none. Superintendent's report and recommendations. Mr. Miller?
Thank you. Good evening, Madam President and members of the board. I have the following recommendations listed under the consent agenda and recommend approval of consent agenda items 5A1 through 5A3.
So moved.
Second.
So moved.
Got it down
Oh,
here.
second, sorry. Excuse me.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Shaw,
Yes.
Ms. Miller.
Yes.
Ms. Jesling,
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle,
Yes.
Mrs. Briner.
Yes.
Thank you. Madam President, members of the board, tonight we are happy to recognize many of our students who have excelled academically. We will start these recognitions with Mr. Wade, along with Mr. Tuttle, who will introduce our Leadership Lake County graduates.
Madam President, members of the board, Mr. Miller, and Mr. Wilson. I'm excited to recognize our students who recently graduated from this year's Leadership Lake County program. The LLC High School program provides a unique opportunity for high school juniors to get a behind-the-scenes look at Lake County while developing their leadership skills. Students come together the first Wednesday of each month to explore a specific aspect of Lake County such as history, business, government, and public safety and justice. Each program day is a combination of on-site visits, guest speakers, and experimental learning. In addition, students plan and implement a service project that helps develop and exercise their leadership skills while it makes a positive impact on the community. I know one of the projects this year benefited Garfield Elementary, and another project benefited the students cleaning up the Headlands Beach. So, our students did a great job. We had 6 graduates, and I would like to call them up today. Amanda Grabenz, Catherine Lahal, Rachel Lance, Jessica Patterson, Bridget Trimble, and Grace Janicic. Let's give these ladies a round of applause, please.
Thank you for going to. Great job. Good for you. Great job.
Thank you, ladies. Next, we are proud to recognize two Mentor High School seniors who have qualified as National Merit finalists.
Madam President, members of the board, Mr. Miller and Mr. Wilson, the National Merit Scholarship Program is an academic competition for recognition and scholarships that began in 1955. High school students enter the National Merit Program by taking the PSAT test, a test which serves as initial screen for more than 1.5 million students each year, and by meeting published program and entry participation requirements. Of the 1.5 million entrants, some 50,000 are chosen in September to be National Merit semifinalists. We would like to recognize tonight that both of our semifinalists, Hannah Taub and Dylan Linville, have been selected as one of 15,000 National Merit finalists. Congratulations, Hannah and Dylan, if you please come to the stage.
Good for you.
I think Hannah and Dylan have been here enough. We might have to issue their own ID badges. Madam President and members of the board, we commend our high school and middle school Science Olympiad teams who all qualified for state competition again this year. Mr. Wade and Mr. Tuttle will begin the recognitions with the high school.
Madam President, members of the board, Mr. Miller and Mr. Wilson, I'm honored to recognize our Science Olympiad team who finished third at the recent state competition. These are dedicated students who spend countless hours preparing and increasing their understanding and passion for science. For the past 30 years, Science Olympiad has led a revolution in science education. What began as a grassroots assembly of science teachers is now one of the premier science competitions in the nation, providing rigorous standards-based challenges to nearly 6,400 teams in 50 states. Science Olympiad's ever-changing event lineup provides a variety of career choices and exposure to practicing scientists and mentors. Science Olympiad tournaments are academic interscholastic competitions which consist of a series of 23 individual and team events students prepare for during the year. These challenging and motivational events are well balanced between the various science disciplines of biology, earth science, chemistry, physics, computers, and technology. There's also a balance between events requiring knowledge of science facts, concepts, processes, skills, and application. Although Science Olympiad is a competitive event, most events are team competitions requiring teamwork, group planning, and cooperation. The emphasis is on learning, participation, interaction, having fun, and developing a team spirit. I'd like to recognize Mr. Ramsey, our advisor, and after all the students, have him come up to stage and ask him to say a few words. Students, as I call your name, if you'd come up, and then there's just going to be quite a few of you, so you guys line across the stage, make it work a little bit better. Brandon Croyle. Kimberly Dunnigan. Lee Emkel. Joshua Furness. Mitchell Georgia Horde. Kimberly Glebe. Nathaniel Jerkago. Alexandria Kremer. Logan Leak. Dylan Linville. Omar Mansour. Ian Meadows. Jacob Murray. Rushan Patel.
Good for you.
Trevor Pugh. Alexander
For
Rue.
you.
Abigail Sayuda. Jamie Todolinski.
Great job.
Hannah Taub. And Andrew Wallstrom.
Good for you. Great job.
Ask Mr. Ramsey to say a few words about the team.
Congratulations.
My heart goes out to the team. I cannot show you any more respect than the effort you put in through the entire year, beginning in September, working through winter break and spring break. We call them study breaks. And the level of excellence is just a beautiful thing to see. I know it will pay dividends going forward. Already I'm hearing from the AP exams, oh, I knew that from Science Olympiad. And I'm sure you, when you go to college, you'll say, well, I already know that. I learned that through Science Olympiad or through the Menor High School. I also want to give a shout out to our night custodians who work around the kids that are studying and doing their mechanical devices in the hallway all night long. They show a great amount of patience. But it is a beautiful thing to see these kids here in the evening along with the athletic teams doing their science.
Congratulations. Nice job, everybody.
Also at the high school, we are recognizing 5 Mentor High School students who did an outstanding job of winning over $6,000 in scholarships and prizes at the COSC Cool Tech Challenge competition.
Madam President, members of the board, Mr. Miller and Mr. Wilson, supported by COSI and the Northeast Ohio Software Association, they sponsor an annual tech week to support the local tech community. The culmination of the week is the awards banquet, which recognizes Northeast companies for their leadership and innovation. The High School Cool Tech Challenge is the high school part recognizing students who coded a website based on one of the NASA Space Apps Challenge. Winning over $6,000 in scholarships and prizes were 2 teams of Mentor students. The creative coders are Omar Mansour and Raghav Malik. If they would come up, if they're here, please. Also, the Mentor High School Children Who Program Good team was Dylan Merritt, Caitlin Horn, and Eve Pfeiffer. If they would also come up, please.
Well done. Great job. Good for you.
Congratulations to those students. Next. Next, we would like to recognize our students who won first and second place honors at the Northeast Ohio Robotics Education Program competition at Youngstown State University. Mr. Crow and Mr. Tuttle will make the presentation.
Madam President, members of the board, Mr. Miller and Mr. Wilson. It gives me great pleasure to be here this evening to recognize the outstanding accomplishments of our career technical education students. Our programs have always done well in competition, and this year is no different. Students from our CAD Engineering Technology class competed in the Northeast Ohio Robotics Education Program at Youngstown State University. Our top two teams took first and second place. This competition requires teams of students to design and build autonomous robots to perform specific complex tasks. The robots are built using Lego Mindstorm kit and accessories. Teams are judged in 5 different categories: robot design, technical journal, oral presentation, game 2, and game 3. I asked about game number 1, and that's for middle school students. Would the following students please come forward? Team 1 members: Robert Dragilich, Zach Lumberg, Rokas Ogrankis, Tyler Walker, Tom Wittrell, and Adam Williams.
Well done. Great job. Good for you.
This team took 3rd place in robot design, 1st place in technical journal, 2nd place in oral presentation, 1st place in game 2, and 2nd place in game number 3. This team took 1st place overall at the competition. Congratulations, gentlemen. Now I'd like to recognize team number 2. Team members include Matthew Mooch, Patrick Price, Justin Sproles, Jake Wright, and Matthew Yammer. Would you please come to the stage? Team number 2 took 3rd place in technical journal, 3rd place in oral presentation, 2nd place in game 2, and 1st place in game number 3. This team took 2nd place overall. And I'd like to recognize their instructor today who's able to be here, Mr. Mike Traska. Congratulations to both teams and Mr. Prochaska for all your success. Please have a seat.
Congratulations to those students. We're also proud to recognize our students who competed and won gold, silver, and bronze medals at the State Skills USA competition in Columbus, and I think a few of those students qualified for nationals as well. Mr. Crow?
Yes. Madam President, members of the board, Mr. Miller and Mr. Wilson. In April, students from our computer information systems and welding programs competed in the State Skills USA competition. Skills USA is a career technical student organization serving students in high school and college post-secondary industrial, engineering, and health career training programs in Ohio. We had several students medal at this competition, and we'll be sending a few students to nationals this June in Kansas City. Would Mr. Eubanks please come forward, the instructor for welding? No? Okay. Would the following students please come forward? Ryan Hahn, Michael Hauser, and Elena Riera.
Good for you, great job. Well done. Great job.
Ryan took. Ryan won gold medal in Job Skill Demo Open Competition at Skills USA. Ryan will be traveling to Kansas City to compete in the national competition this June. Michael, yeah, I think it's appropriate. Michael earned a silver medal in welding at the State Skills USA competition and has done a tremendous job the last 2 years. Elena won bronze in community service at the State Skills USA competition. And also, real quick, Ryan, Michael, and Elena will be receiving a Presidential Award for Community Service for their work on the Rainbow Babies and Children Ride the Rainbow Gala that was just held this past spring. The students designed. Elena was the project manager for creating centerpieces for this event, and Ryan and Michael assisted as well. The theme was City Skyline, and the students designed skyscrapers. The gala helped raise over $1.6 million, and the centerpieces alone raised $6,000. So congratulations to these outstanding students. Now you can have a seat. Also at the Skills USA state level competition, our computer information systems team did an unbelievable job and won a gold medal. I'd like to bring up their instructor right now, Mrs. Melinda O'Connor, and 3 students. The students are Nicole Shipley, Marisa Wise, and Nathaniel Kramer.
Great job. Very nice. Good for you.
This team of students partnered with the local 16 Bricklayers Union to create an updated communication plan through social media and to train bricklayers from across Ohio and Kentucky on how to use their newly adopted technology. The team developed a brand new website for the organization as well. At a recent meeting in Hudson, at the Bricklayers Training Facility, the team presented the communication plan and remained on site to help bricklayers train and use the new technology. Special thanks to Keith Hosevar, the field representative for Local 16, for giving our students this wonderful opportunity to utilize their abilities. The team's hard work and great design earned them a first-place gold medal in the showcase competition at State Skills USA, and they'll be competing this June in Kansas City. We wish them the best of luck. Congratulations.
Congratulations, students. Thank you, Mr. Crow. At this time, Madam President and members of the board, we will now recognize the middle school Science Olympiad teams who qualified for state competition again this year. Mr. Porter and Mr. Tuttle will make the presentations.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Mr. Miller and Mr. Wilson. It is my privilege to again this year recognize all 3 of our middle school Science Olympiad teams, which is an amazing accomplishment for our district. In state competition at Ohio State University, Memorial finished 4th, Shore 9th, and Ridge 14th. This growing tradition of Science Olympiad excellence is fueled by our dedicated advisors, the parents who coach individual events, and the parents and fans who support the efforts of these committed and hardworking students. At this time, I would like to begin with each school one at a time to call you up on stage. From Memorial Middle School, their advisor, Mrs. Allison Crow, and I would ask Mr. Dudziak, the principal of Memorial, to also come up and join us. And if And if the students who are here would come up when I call your name and line up across the stage, there are quite a few. Karina Abraham. Leon Anafarenko. Sophia Anufrienko. Joshua Bazdar. Dallin Crawford. Zachary Duncan. Christopher Hassick.
Great job.
Joseph Hassick.
Good for you. Wonderful job.
Corey Hoffman. Kyle Hoffman.
Good job.
Wayne Ho. Kemi Casabwala. Saralina Carr. Jessica Languth.
Great job.
Kylie Linville. Nathan Lowe. Zachary Lind. Christopher Wynn.
Very nice.
Sarah Ochaki.
Good for you.
Jude O'Toole.
Great job.
Devank Patel.
Great job.
Lav Patel. Savan Patel. Michael Petty. Nicholas Ratto.
Congratulations.
Emily Rahia. John Rahia. Sarah Ramaya. Jack Rico. Jared Simcoe. Nicole Smike. Ben Smicer. Nicole Wallstrom. And Andrew Wolf. Congratulations, Memorial in fourth place. Thank you. Thank you, students. And our Shore Science Olympiad team, advisor, Mr. Eric Hickson. And we would ask that Mr. Doug Baker, the principal, come forward also. Students from Shore, Matthew Berlin, Amanda Blatz, Kristen Buse, Brian Elliott, Aiden Hahn, Brandon Harbor. Seth Hickson.
Great job.
Casey Kalita. Sarah Maines. Lillian Mazika. Jack Mazika. Devin Messner. Darla Mormon.
Well done.
Alex Murray. Jonathan Nichol. Charles Nichol.
Good for you.
Thomas Odo. Tristan Pastor. Pavan Patel. Andrew Ponchin. Joshua Pugh.
Great job.
Sushita Rajan. James Roski. Daniel Rue. Daniel Slavenke.
Good for you.
Brian Stafford. Eliana Taub. Jack Whiting. And
Good for
Christopher
you.
Wright.
Great job. Very nice. Congratulations.
Round of applause for Shore Middle School's team, please. And Ridge Middle School, their advisors, Mrs. Abad, Mrs. Parker, were unable to be here this evening, but we would ask Mr. McHenrick, the assistant principal, to join us up front, please, to help us. And the Ridge team, please come forward. Salem Abad. Charles Ball. Justin Croyle. Jared Drotar. Joshua Estak. Alexander Ganya.
Great job. Well done.
David Ganya.
Good for you. Great job.
Bradley Parker. Janak Patel. Dennis Pranjic.
Very nice. Good job.
Joseph Renshaw.
Very nice.
Luke Risco. Caleb Rikajewski.
Great job.
Andrew Smith. Emily Smith. Quinn
Very nice.
Tesney.
Good job. Good for you. Great job. Very nice. Great job.
And a round of applause, please, for the team from Ridge.
Great job.
Congratulations, Ridge Middle School.
Next, we are happy to recognize 3 of our students who qualified for the Power of the Pen state competition.
Good evening once again. Another middle school tradition is our continual presence at the Power of the Pen State Writing Competition. This challenges and recognizes the very best and most creative middle school writers in the state of Ohio each school year. This year, Mentor had 3 state qualifiers we would like to recognize. From Memorial Middle School, I would ask Mr. Dudziak, the principal, to please come forward, and the advisor, Mrs. Sharon Oliver. And one of the qualifiers, Jennifer Rowan, is not here tonight, but one of them is, I would invite to the stage Miss Allison Fry.
Great job.
And from Shore Middle School, we would ask Mr. Baker, the principal, to return, please. And if the advisors, Ms. Compton or Mrs. Weber, are here tonight, they're welcome to join us on stage. And we are very proud to recognize from Shore Middle School, student Darla Mormon.
Great job. Very nice.
And one more round of applause for our Power of the Pen State qualifiers. Thank you.
At this time, we're going to take a short recess. Anyone who would like to leave, maybe you guys have finals to study for or what have you. So we'll take a 5-minute recess. Anyone that would like to stay is welcome to do so. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go ahead and go back in session. Madam President, members of the board, I am recommending the resolution accepting the Jerome T. Osborne Stadium Access Road paving project bid to be approved. The successful bid was submitted by Chagrin Valley Paving Incorporated.
So moved. Second.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. That's the 4x4 road that Mr. Wade enjoys riding in.
Glad I haven't lost a tire yet. Okay,
Didn't
please
bother
call the
my
roll.
truck. Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
Madam President, members of the board, I'm recommending that the resolution accepting the Brentmore Elementary School paving project bid be approved. The successful bid was submitted by Ohio Paving and Construction Company.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
Before you move on, I'd like to compliment Ohio Paving and the choice. We had them do a small job at our facility, nowhere near $100,000, but they came in and they did a great job, solved our water problem in our back parking lot, which only parks about 20 cars, and the water just goes exactly where I told them I wanted the water to go, so.
Good to know.
That's good.
Thank you, Mr. Tuttle.
You're welcome.
Sorry.
Did we vote on that?
Yes, we did.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Madam President, members of the board, I'm recommending approval of Agenda Item C1 related to certified personnel and Agenda Items C2 through C4, all related to human resource matters.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
Thank you. This concludes my part of tonight's agenda.
Thank you. Under board business,
Yeah, I can do that and explain it if you'd like.
sure.
We have placed under the board's action items a resolution requesting approval to authorize an agreement with the Mentor Public Library for the creation of a joint self-insurance plan. This agreement will enable us to offer our employee benefits program for medical, dental, and vision to the 59 employees of the public library. Unfortunately, they participated in a statewide consortium with other public libraries that provide this coverage, and that consortium went out of business, and they lose all coverage the end of May. This agreement is based on them accepting our plan design, our premium structure, and reimbursing us on a monthly basis. And we're very pleased that as a partner with the library and the original authorizing authority to create the library, that we can assist them in what will be a very minimal risk to us in our program. We'll currently accept 31 of those 59 employees that are taking insurance through the library. So we request your approval.
Thank you, Dan. Any questions? Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Please call the roll.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes. Legislative report.
I'm going to assume all the board members read the report, so I just want to skip to one line subject on that, and that is the expansion provision allowing charter school students to access to extracurricular activities in their district of residence. This is in their most recent House bill, and also the Senate is in the process of accepting that also as well. Ohio School Board Association is objecting to that. They oppose that, as well as the other two school board associations in the state of Ohio. So I just wanted to call that to your attention, that it's in there. I did want to go off on this subject, but I'm going to reserve that. I think you all know what my position would be on that. But I would hope that each and every one of you, if you do oppose that, you call our state senator, our state representatives, and any other state representative you may know, and express your displeasure with that opportunity. I would close by saying I'm confused by the direction in which our legislators are going. It's creating, I consider this unfair competition. We in the public school domain are competing for students, and to remove the competitive edge, I'm sorry I'm going off on this, but removing those competitive advantages we have that we offer with fine coaches and administrators to attract students who want to participate in our extracurricular activities. They're overlooking all the fine teaching and the schools and the principals by choosing to go elsewhere. So, and this is across the state, by the way, but I'm defending our position as public schools, Mentor Public Schools. So if you agree with me, please call them. John Rogers, our state representative, Ron Young, also a state representative, and Senator John Eklund. Call them and express that, if you would. Thank you.
Thank you. Chief Financial Officer report and recommendations. Mr. Wilson.
Thank you. It's recommended the financial statements for the month of April 2014 be accepted and placed on file for audit.
So moved.
Second.
I would just point out that the financial statements reflect what we had previously reported, that there's $2.2 million of prior year delinquencies been collected, creating a very nice positive variance on budgeted income for the year. And spending year to date is at 76% of the budget, with 83% of the year completed. There's some spending that normally occurs at the end of the year, but we're having a very positive year.
Any questions? Please call the roll.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
It's recommended the Board of Education ratify the investment transaction listed in Exhibit 7-B.
So moved.
Second. Please call the roll.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
It's It's recommended the Board of Education approve the interfund transfers listed in Exhibit 7-C.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
It's recommended the Board of Education approve the appropriation modifications listed in Exhibit 7-D.
So moved.
Second. Please call the roll.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
It's recommended the Board of Education approve the supplemental appropriations listed in Exhibit 7-E.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
It's recommended the Board of Education approve an invoice presented in Exhibit 7-F.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
It's recommended the Board of Education approve the establishment of a new fund to track the Treasury Management Services activities that now includes 2 and hopefully soon a 3rd client. This is a resolution presented to the Auditor of State for their approval, and then we'll be able to create this as an enterprise fund with separate balance sheet activities.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
It's recommended the Board of Education approve a depository contract agreement with First National Bank as presented in Exhibit 7-H.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
This time, I'd like to present the fiscal officer certificate associated with recommendation to issue a bond anticipation note. This fiscal officer certificate certifies that the useful life of the improvements will exceed 5 years, and the maximum maturity of bonds, if issued, will be at least 14 years. Now that I've presented that, I would like to recommend the Board of Education approve the renewal of the school improvement notes as presented in Exhibit 7-J. This will permit us to pay down $195,000 against the original borrowing of $1,950,000 for accumulated permanent improvements and maintenance projects that occurred in 2008. This will be the 6th of 10 annual payments as we pay that off. So I'm recommending approval of this action.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Please call the roll.
Mr. Tuttle?
Yes.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Ms. Jesling?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Briner?
Yes.
And that completes my items for this evening.
Thank you. Any unfinished business? Any new business? Now we will do our hearing of the public on agenda items or any item. Anyone? Sure, come on up. Yes, please. Come on up, state your name. 3 minutes, please.
Thank you. My name is Mark Gordon. I'm from, I live in Kirtland Hills. Do you need my address or anything like that? Or?
It's fine.
Okay. I'm here on behalf of some of the parents of the high school wrestling team. We've had the opportunity to give our input into what we thought would be an acceptable coach. And we had come to learn as of today that the person that we had kind of backed in this race wasn't offered that position. And I guess what we were here to do was just to kind of voice our concern that if a contract hasn't been extended to this educator and coach, that maybe it would be reconsidered for several items or several facts that we thought were important for everybody to know. We think that the wrestling team is deserving of a good coach and of course a good educator, and having the opportunity to give our input into the process meant a lot to the parents. That being said, the choice, or maybe it's not a choice yet, we don't know, but we've been informed that two of the people that were in the running for that position have been notified that they were not, that they weren't going to be offered that position. So through brilliant deduction, we've come to realize who that person might be, and we just wanted to, as a group, voice our concern that we weren't in agreement with that. Nothing to do personally, other than the fact that we felt like we would have a chance at hiring an educator that was significantly younger and didn't have as many years of coaching experience as maybe the candidate that you're interested in. But we felt like his credentials spoke volumes of what he could potentially do here at this school, coming from a smaller school and having an impact on a school the size of Mentor. We felt was pretty important. And since Mr. Lamanna wasn't extended the contract, we would like as a group to let the board know that we felt like Dugan Bentley would be or should still be considered for the position if a contract has not been drafted up. We didn't know that this was happening as quick as it was, so we were only able to bring a couple parents with us this evening since we found out about it so late. But if there's the opportunity to review sort of the process of this hire, or potentially extending this gentleman a contract, we would again like to reiterate that we would like for Mr. Dugan Bentley to be considered very strongly for this position. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Well, my name is Todd Victor, and we've been a long time resident of Mentor, and there's been several of us that went through the Mentor wrestling program over the years, and Mark pretty much said it all, that we would very much like to see Dugan Bentley in the position, and his stats should speak for themselves. And I know he's involved in the schooling part of it also. He's in charge of one of the National Junior Honor Societies up at Beechwood. And we just want to see Dugan Bentley get the job. And he's a younger age. He would be here a lot longer. He's only 34 years old. The other candidate's 50, so we're concerned of, I mean, you're going to switch a coach possibly in another 10 years again. And Dugan would be here a long time. And he's already had, in 6 years at Beechwood, he's already had 12 state placers and 4 state champs. And that's what we're trying to produce here. And I know this past year alone, two of his wrestlers are going to wrestle for Big Ten schools on scholarships. And That's the kind of guy that we need to get in this program. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. All right. We have no executive session tonight. Okay. Then we will adjourn our meeting. Next meeting, June 10th. Thank you.
Need a roll call.
Oh,
Or
I'm sorry.
Motion, second, roll call, please.
Motion for adjournment, please.
Second.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Shaw,
Yes.
Mr. Tuttle,
Yes.
Ms. Jesling,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Briner.
Yes, thank you.